So we were discussing about this post-dated check concept. So for the post-dated check concept, the prerequisites were in the cash and bank management. We have to enable the cash and bank management parameters. Just try to copy down the same parameters. We'll discuss about this parameters concept again in the next class, tomorrow's class mostly. So these are the parameters in the initial page that I have enabled. And coming to post-dated checks. So these parameters were enabled anyway. So clearing account for issued checks. This is PDC vendor I have given. Then enable post-dated checks, yes. Post journal entries for post-dated checks, yes. Enable. Then general journal for clearing entries. I'm using this general journal for clearing entries. Okay. Or you could have created a separate journal as post-dated check journal or post-dated check clearing journal. Anything. It's up to you. The journal type should be daily, so that you can see that in the list here. Usual. So after all configuring this, I have configured the post-dated check method of payment in the accounts payable. Under payment setup, I have configured this methods of payment. So in the methods of payment, we have seen this check method of payment, sorry, PDC method of payment, in which I have given these details. Payment type as check, bank account, then the post bridging posting enabled, post dated check clearing posting, yes, enabled. Bridging account, so this is the bridging account, which is PDC vendor account. The bank transaction type is mandatory, so I give it tell bank transaction type. Export format is check. Okay. So after that, how I have explained you how the entries will be posted when we post dated check. So like this, accounts payable account will be debited and PDC account will be credited instead of bank account here. Although you are issuing check, but the PDC account will be created because there was a delay in the check to be encashed by the vendor. So because you are giving a check with a future date, a future maturity date, so vendor could not cash the check until that particular date. So for that sake, until the check is getting cashed or arriving at a maturity date, we will record this transaction under PDC account rather than using a bank account directly. Okay. You will have money in your bank account. Suppose if you record bank account here, suppose there is a 1 month gap, it shows that there are no funds in your bank. That's not a correct practice. So you are giving a future check because you want to use the funds in the bank for this month. So by the time of the maturity date, you will somehow manage the funds to be in the bank so that the check will get cleared. So this will be the entry during while we post the check, and this will be the entry when we clear the post-dated check. So the same post-dated account, which was a bridging account or a temporary account, will get reversed, and the bank account will be credited as usual at the time of maturity of the check. So what I have done is I'll show you the payment journal. I'm taking you to the payment journal, some posted journals. So this journal and this journal, I think I have posted on the day we discussed the class. So after the class, I have posted it. I'll show you or walk you through this journal. So in the lines, I have created a vendor payment journal normally, and in the lines, I have selected Tata company, debited the vendor, then selected the method of payment as PDC. Automatically, it takes this bridging account here as the offset account, which is PDC vendors account. Then, then under the post-dated checks, I gave the maturity date as yesterday's date. So I normally posted it on 19th, and I give the post-dated as check as maturity date as 20, as you can see here, 20. And check number I entered here, as well as however I generated the check, I got the same check number anyway here as well, and I was able to post it. So when I posted it, I can see the voucher here. So the voucher I can see is Accounts payable, account is debited since we are vendor is receiving the amount. So account behind the vendor will be debited and PDC vendor's account is credited. So this is the bridging account which is used instead of bank account. Normally bank account will be created if money is going out of bank, but since there is a delay in the money going out of bank, until then this bridging account is used as PDC vendor's account. So this is how I was able to post it, and we will again post one more post dated check. Let's see. Go clicking on if, go to vendor payment journal, go to lines, select the vendor account, same data company, then debit the vendor for something like $2,500 and select the method of payment here as post dated check here. So as soon as I select the method of payment as post dated check, I can see this bridging account appearing here, which is post dated check vendor's account, which we have given in the method of payment as the bridging account. So now the payment status is set to be none and we can generate the check actually. Let me check this one. So did I give anything as mandatory in this? Only bank transaction type is mandatory I gave. Perfect. Then we can generate this check if you want to. So you can give a date, maturity date when this check will get matured. So by default it takes tomorrow's date since system is considering 21 as today's date. So you cannot give any date. You cannot give today's date or earlier date. You have to give only the later date or the future date. So you can give some date like 30th of November. So the check will get matured on 30th of November. Although you are issuing check today, vendor cannot deposit the check in the bank until 30th of November. So that's how now you can generate payments for the same. So you have method of payment check, export format check. You are issuing the check from ICICI Bank itself. Then click on OK. This is how check number 106 is picked. Go to document, screen, OK, print it. Takes a while to print. It is taking a long time. Mm, This seems to be an issue actually. Connectivity issue, I guess so. But however, check was unable to print it. However, check could have been generated, as I would see somewhere. Mm, So it is an SQL error that something could not be connected, server issue. Well, that's okay. Printing is not done, but I can see check number is allotted and check status is sent to when payment status is marked to sent. So check is generated. It could not be able to print it. That's all. Now I can validate this and post the journal. It is taking a lot of time today. I'm a bit slow maybe. Okay. Seems like it is connected. I mean, it is posted as you can see here, all of you. Now you can also see the voucher, how it was posted. In the voucher, I can say accounts payable account is debited with 2,500. PDC vendor account is credited with 2,500. So I'll just go back and duplicate this tab just to show you the check status on the cash and bank management module. It's in the cash and bank management under payment reversals and checks inquiry. You can see these are the checks on for the ICICI 106 check is paid, as you can see. And when you see the voucher from here, it will be the same voucher actually. AP account debited and PDC vendor account credited. Then if I go to the bank transaction, suppose go to bank accounts, go to ICICI and transactions. See here, I cannot see that check number 106 in the bank transactions. So any idea why? We have used the bank account as a reference for issuing the check. We bank account was nowhere in place in the transaction. See here, when a vendor account is there and PDC account is there here in bridging account. Bank account is not considered. So since the bank account does not have any effect in this situation while you are issuing the check, you don't find a bank transaction and you don't find it for the reconciliation purpose as well. So it will be not added into the bank transactions until and unless you clear the post-dated check. So how to clear the post-dated check, we'll see now. So if I have to clear the post-dated check, as I told you in the accounts payable, I have the option under payments only. I have vendor post-dated checks. So accounts payable, payments, vendor post-dated checks here. If I go to vendor post-dated checks, I can see three checks. So this is the check we posted earlier today. So it's the maturity date of this check is 30th of November. So we can't clear it today. However, these two checks, 1500 and 1300, the maturity date was 20th. So system have crossed that date. So I posted this on in our previous class actually after the class. So this is for 1300, this is for 1500. So let us try to clear these checks. Let us try to clear this 1500 check, which is having maturity date of 2011-2021. On the maturity date is completed as of the date. So selected it, click on settle, click on settle clearing entries. This one. Mm. So it is saying number of vouchers posted to the journal 1. So which journal it is posted, which voucher it is posted? Any idea, anyone? So for clearing of post-dated checks in the cash and bank management parameters, we have given a journal here. So this one, general journal for clearing entries. We have given general journal, and we gave the clearing account also here as the PDC account. Okay. So it will consider this journal for reversing the or for the clearing of post-dated check. Clearing at the time of clearing, I told you will get this entry. So this entry will be posted. So it is saying that number of journals posted was 1. So I was expecting that it should post to general journal. So let me take you to the journal, general ledger, general journals. So here I am going to the posted journals, journal number, whatever is the last. So this one, 51. If I open this journal, which was already posted, automatically created and posted. So if I open this journal, I can see PDC account is getting debited for 1500 and bank account is getting credited for 1500. So this is the PDC account which is in debit for 1500 and bank account same ICICI Bank is now credited for 1500. So payment reference is 104. Here also this check number is 104 and I posted it in the vendor payment journal. So that check is now cleared. Cleared means PDC account will get debited and bank account will get credited, which would eventually cancel this too. PDC balance will be cleared and accounts payable will be debited and bank account credited will be the final entry. Okay, upon maturity date of the check, this will be the entry which would clear this bridging account. So this is how now you can see the voucher here clearly for the general journal. So bank account is credited and PDC vendor's account is debited. So automatically this posted the entry upon clicking on the clear bridging and clear post-dated check. You can, if you want to cancel it, you can cancel the post-dated check also, your wish. So the original entry will get reversed again. But we want to clear it, right? So again, I'll click on this one, settle clearing entries for the another check. This is check number 105, 1300. So for this also maturity date is expired. So settle clearing entries. So it says again, another journal is created. So I'll go back and check if the another journal is created. Refresh this. I see now 52 is also created. Now earlier 51 was the newest. Now 52 is the newest. If I click on 52, go to lines. So I can see PDC account is now debited for 1300 and bank account is created for 1300. So this one for 1300 here. So the same PDC account getting reversed for 1300, bank account getting credited for 1300 and check number 105 is the payment reference. So this is how you can clear the post-dated check transactions from the vendor payments itself. Okay, you can also do it from the earlier one that I showed you last day. This one select bridget transactions and you can clear it, but that's a secondary process which not most of them would prefer to follow. But since you have list of your post-dated checks here, you can clear them. And if now if this 1500, if you want to settle it once again, you cannot see it. It is grayed out because settlement is already done. If you click on this, you can see on settlement. I mean, it's not showing any because it seems to be settled already. Let's see for this one. It's also not showing anything actually. It's okay. So now if we go to bank account and cash and bank management, bank accounts, now select the same ICICI Bank and go to transactions. So here you can see check number 104 and 105 reflecting now. Earlier you could not see check number 104 and 105, and now I can see, but check number 106 is not yet showing here. Any idea why? Not yet cleared. The majority date of the check was for 30th, so we did not clear the check yet, so I could not see it here. So these two I can see here. So now if I go to voucher for this check, I can see that one PDC account is getting debited and bank account is getting created. Since there is an involvement of bank account in the voucher, so then you can see the transactions in the bank transactions list. If there is no involvement of bank account either in the debit or credit, you cannot see the transaction in the bank transactions list. Key point to remember. Okay. Now you can see there are a bunch of transactions, out of which two are reconciled, means it's a reversal of check transaction, I think. Yeah, these two. So other than that, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, five transactions here in the bank. So the post-dated check concept is now completed.